Yes, Peter Dinklage, all we wanted out of Game of Thrones Season 8 was white people winning at the end. You son of a... Hey there, everybody. Scott from Sporking News Podcasts. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, hit like, and share, because YouTube doesn't want to help me. So... Peter Dinklage, I guess in an interview or at some, I don't even know, because I'm not caring enough to read the article, even though I love bounding into comics. Peter Dinklage claims backlash to Game of Thrones was because people wanted the pretty white people to ride off into the sunset together. What people are you implying there, Peter? What people? Are you talking about black people, Hispanic people? Like, what people are you implying wanted pretty white people to ride off into the sunset? You know what I wanted? I don't know. I wanted a Game of Thrones season 6, 7, 8 that didn't suck. Let's throw in 5 there too. I wanted George R. R. Martin to finish the books. I want Nerdrotic to stop telling me that George R. R. Martin will never finish the books. That's what I want. I wanted Dan and Dave to care a little bit and not become egomaniacs. What I didn't want was the white people to win. I wanted the characters I followed through this journey that I wanted to see do well and didn't want to see harmed win in the end. And if you really think about it, who won in the end? Well, you have Tree Boy, he's white. Sansa, she's white. Arya, she's white. So didn't the white people win in the end anyways? You know, no, what we wanted to see, Peter, was a positive ending to, not even have to be positive, a good ending, a great ending to one of the all-time busts in TV history. So, yeah, he wanted the pretty white people. So let's see if we can actually see what was asked and what he said. So the New York Times, Kyle Bunchin, whatever, brought up Game of Thrones, asking Dinklage, George R. R. Martin wanted Game of Thrones to go on for 2 more seasons. Do you think it should have, or was that the right time to end? Okay, good question. The response, it was the right time to end. No less, no more. You don't want to wear out your welcome, although I'm not sure that the show could have. It sucked for seasons, Peter. Even you were no longer the character you were at the beginning. Tyrion was one of the greatest characters in book for a book, is one of my favorite characters of all time. You started out season 1 booming. And by season 8, you were no more witty. You were no more intelligent. You were just walking around staring at things and not making any plans and being not the genius, strategic minded lunatic that Tyrion is. So then he goes on. Dinklage provided his opinion on why there was so much backlash to the show's ending. But I think the reason there was some backlash about the ending is because they were angry at us for breaking up with them. We were going off the air and they didn't know what to do with their Sunday nights anymore. God, you're an egomaniac. They wanted more, so they backlashed about that. No, it sucked, Peter. It sucked. I'm sorry, my kids are running like maniacs upstairs. You might hear it because they know it sucked. Dinklage asserts. Let's see, what else does he say? I'm sorry, I don't edit. Get used to it. Dinklage would tell you the same thing. We had to end when we did because what the show was really good at was breaking preconceived notions. No, George R. R. Martin was good at that. You guys sucked at it. Villains become heroes and heroes become villains. You took one of the greatest starts to a villain in book history and turned him into a Hot Topics pirate. You know, like Cersei, lame. I don't mind, where some of the characters ended up, but how they get there, that's the whole process, the journey. And Dave and Dan sucked at it. Your acting at the end, mailed in. We all know it. He goes on, if you know your history when you track the progress of tyrants, they don't start off as tyrants. I'm talking about, spoiler alert, what happened at the end of Game of Thrones with that character change. Yeah, there is a progress. We never saw it. She just turned one day. People didn't like her in Westeros, so she was mad. They like Jon more than her. Daenerys is going to burn you down. The bells was one of the stupid moves because the bells have nothing to do with her. Bells mean victory to her because of the Dothraki. You use the bells wrong because in the book, there's a character where the bells, I can see trigger him into wanting to destroy everybody because he felt like the bells made them lose the rebellion, made his best friend die, the prince, made the Targaryen lineages fall. If you know who Coddington is, you know what I'm talking about. So you guys messed up the bells altogether. She wasn't a tyrant. She was a terribly written part and acted by a great someone who knew what they were doing was wrong, and she did the best she could with it. He elaborates it gradually, and I loved how power corrupted these people. It's gradual. No, it wasn't. What happens to your moral compass when you get a taste of power? Human beings are complicated characters, you know. She's my queen. She's my queen. You know, come on. She was a garbage character by the end. And she was a one-note character. That was the sad part. They just made the woman crazy. See, why don't you look at that? How you guys turned a powerful woman just into a lunatic. And she was mad because someone didn't want to love her. A man left her. See, you guys don't look at that part of it. You don't look at what you did wrong in today's society. That was one of the biggest things I saw. You turned her nuts because he wouldn't sleep with Azani. You know, look at yourself, Dinklage. Look at what you guys did to this show. There was a follow-up question. I think some people really didn't want a happily ever after ending. Well, that's what George told us we weren't going to get. Even though Game of Thrones told us it was not that show from the very beginning. He answered, Dinklage. They wanted that pretty white people to ride off into the sunset together. I forgot you're not white. Like, I love you liberal actors who like, dude, you're a white guy. So really all you're doing is making fun of yourself. None of us care what color the people were. None of us cared. We wanted to fall in love with the character because they were well written. And once George's materials went away, your characters sucked because they were no longer well written. By the way, it's fiction. There's a dragon in it. Move on. Laughs. No. But the show subverts. There we go again. Subverts what you think. And that's what I loved about it. Yeah. It was called Game of Thrones, but at the end, the whole dialogue when people would approach me on the street was, who's going to be on the throne? I don't know why that was their takeaway because the show really was more than that. I don't even know if I can go on. Okay. One of my favorite moments was when the dragon burned the throne. Yeah, because a dragon knew that throne symbolized corruption and symbolized the patriarchy. Because it sort of just killed the whole conversation, which is really irreverent. I'm sorry, I screw up that word every time. And kind of brilliant on behalf of all the show's creators. Shut up. It's not about that. Finally, Dinklage concluded. They constantly did that. Where you thought one thing, they delivered another. Everybody had their own stories going on while watching that show, but nobody's was as good as what the show delivered, I think. Oh, I completely and utterly disagree with you, sir. You guys were terrible. It ended terrible. I can't believe I'm saying this because I loved you, Dinklage. And you just turned out to be another one who blamed the fans. And that, sir, that makes me sick. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did Dinklage go too far? Was he correct? I don't know. But if you are new here, please subscribe. Check out the to be a member. You can check out below. And this one goes out to all my members. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting the channel. Merry Christmas to you. Happy Hanukkah, Festivus, Kwanzaa, and a new year. Take care, everybody. You're the best. You're all the best. You help me grow my channel. I can't sing. I should really put some new words to this. I gotta think a little bit more. Thanks, everybody.